Hi guys, a big congrats on The Damned. It's haunting and creepy, and it's a smart morality tale as well. I love it. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Manny.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're so welcome. Let's begin with you, Mr. Thor. What got you interested? Take us from the very beginning. What got you interested in directing the film and making the movie? Give us a genesis.
Well, I was living in a small seaside village in Iceland, getting snowed in and kind of seeing the dark side of Iceland as you do in the middle of December with no sunlight. Uh, and you hear these stories of ships, wrecking around Iceland. You hear the myth of the Draugur, which is this entity that is haunting these people, and then you have this interesting question that is, what would you do if you were put in this situation? Would you help innocent foreigners drowning in the ocean, or would you take care of your own first? And slowly a story comes together. And I think, yeah, that would be the genesis, these kind of elements bubbling together.
Wow, and you, Miss Odessa, wonderful as Eva. What attracted you to playing Eva, and how did you find the heart of your character?
Um, well, it started with a really great script. It started with, a character, a young woman in a genre in a horror film who is active and not just an observer. She's not just, watching as horrible things happen. She is actually, implicated in the consequences of this film. And I just found that extremely refreshing to watch. I mean, to read, and to find her heart. I mean, it was easy because it was there. I think that it's always been a part of the story that this person is kind of forced into doing these things that seem so abominable and so impossible. These decisions to make her so impossible, but she is forced into them by her own assumptions and her own kind of short-sightedness and her own fear. And it's really about what a person does to belay the guilt that is chasing them. And I found that to just be extremely compelling and very tragic, and a really interesting thing to think about playing.
Yep. Now, Mr. Thor, it's a survival film, right? But at its heart, it's also a metaphor for grief, I believe. Talk to us about that.
Oh yeah, there's grief. The character of Eva has lost her husband the year before, and she's trying to kind of figure out how to manage these men because she's been thrust into this position of power. But also, I feel the film is also about guilt because these people decide to not save the foreigners in the ocean and let them drown. And then these characters have to try and face up to their decision of how they feel, and the guilt is eating them up from inside. So for me, the film is all about guilt and owning up to your decisions.
You know what, Odessa, The Damned is a bit intense, and you totally understood the assignment. but but what is the most challenging aspect of making the film for you?
Um, Gee, I mean, it's all challenging and it's all easy, I think, weirdly. It's like when you have the kind of people that you're working with, like Thor and like these other wonderful cast members, it's like everybody makes your life a little easier. Or that everybody makes that task a little easier. I think that the challenges were just like kind of, yeah, the keeping the intensity up when so much of kind of horror and genre filmmaking is like that very classic, you're reacting to something that isn't actually there, because that's the point of the film. Is it there, is it not, blah blah blah. And I think that that is a challenge. It's a challenge to maintain the level of imagination that you need, and then also try not to make it feel histrionic, try to make it feel real, try to feel it in your body and not just in your face. And I think that that's kind of that was where a lot of my attention was going to in making this. But in terms of the intensity of it, in terms of these other things, I mean, it really is just an intense environment, and these scenes really are just intense scenes, and they do a lot of that work for you. It's not hard to kind of find the intensity in these moments because there's no other option, you know, there's no other way to play it in these circumstances. So that was nice. It was a nice, you know, little lift from the script.
Oh, and thank you so much again for the fantastic film, Mr. Thor. A big congrats on The Damned again. It's a chilling trip into the heart of darkness. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you.
And you guys have a happy holiday season, okay?
Wow.